Oceanborn, Solaris, Alcyone, Hecate, and Site Delta, if we go all the way. I don't know if we're going to go all the way, but I do think this is going to be somewhat close. Thank you, Make Me Bet. It's been a pretty amazing Friday so far. A very long afternoon nap. I have officially reached the age where I can do afternoon naps. It's fantastic. 2 hours of padel, and now some fun Friday night games. First series, I think really fun, honestly. I already said it, but a little round of applause for both of the nerds. Seems like they were a very good match for each other. A 3-2 victory. That's what we love to see. Then Daddy Chill. Thank you, mate, for the 29 months. Spazymazy needs a sec. Mixu is ready. Maybe we can take a tiny look at these profiles. Ooh, what an animal. 6,051. Mixu. That's serious, guys. 5863. But it's ZVZ. Mixu was a little angry at me when I asked him about his ZVZ a while ago, because I thought his ZVZ wasn't all that good. I didn't really say that. What I said is like, what's wrong with the ZVZ? And he took that as, why do you say I'm bad in ZVZ? And I was like, I didn't say you were bad. You just had a couple losses that I didn't expect. Then it was all good. Yep, Roddy is ready. Mixu versus Spazymazy. I think across the board, Mixu is a little bit better than Spazymazy. Not a whole lot, but a little. But ZVZ is obviously a different ball game. It's a very fast-paced matchup. Games can be over in the blink of an eye. Let's do it. Oceanborn, second series of the night. A Scandinavian ZVZ. I want to say for the first time ever in the BBB. Not BVB. They played on Wednesday.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
And bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of Berserker, Esports, Mixu. Our Finnish Zerg. One of the higher MMRs I've seen from him in quite some time, so I guess he is gearing up for those Europe Regionals qualifiers. I know it's been a lifelong goal of his to make it through those qualifiers, and he often gets a bit unlucky. Runs into very good players in that final qualifying round. Maybe the spring regionals coming up for the DreamHack Masters Dallas or ESL Masters Dallas. Will this be finally the time that Mixu makes it into the Europe Regionals? I think it'd be very nice for him. In the top left side, we are looking at the main base of our Danish Zerg. Representing BBEX, this is Spazymazy. I believe he only played once in the BBB. And he had a 3-0 victory over Foxer. I know a thing or two about 3-0 victories over Foxer. Sorry, Foxer. We love you, mate. Foxer in the next BBB, guys. He deserves that. Let's see. Finland. Oh, are we going to have that discussion again? Finland is not a part of Scandinavia. Alright, guys. I'll take it back. Can I call it a Nordic ZVZ then? Is that acceptable? 2 countries where it can be very cold. ZVZ. Is that okay? Thank you, Drizzle, by the way. Both players opening up with hatch first, spawning pool, and a quick gas. So nothing too crazy. I wonder if we're going to have one crazy build. Maybe like Solaris? 12 pool, drone pool? Is there a chance? Spazymazy is definitely a lover of the Mudas. I know that. But if I know that and you guys know that, I think Mixu knows that too. Now, Mudas are always feisty and dangerous in ZVZ, but it is not that easy to just play Mudas every game. If that is the only plan that you have, there's a good chance that you'll die very often right before they come out or by the time that they come out, but then you lose all your drones. Isn't the proper term Fennoscandia? Could be, mate. Guys, I severely apologize for calling this a Scandinavian ZVZ. I'll take it back. Let's move on. 2 countries where it can snow a lot. I'll keep it at that. Let's not get into Holland versus Netherlands. Well, that's relatively easy to explain. I live in Holland, but I am from the Netherlands. Baiting nest for Spazymazy as well. A little bit later than the one of Mixu. We're going to keep a close eye on the minimap. Because what Zerg players will often do is make it seem like nothing weird is happening, but then they morph their first 2 lings that are on the other side of the map into banelings, and they will try to surprise their opponent. So far these two couldn't have really mirrored each other a whole lot more. Mixu has done all of this though of 2 more drones. He's gonna have a slightly superior economy. Yeah, Holland is a region. We have 12 provinces. 2 of them are called North Holland and South Holland. Basically everything that's fun in our country happens over there. Sorry to all the farmers that are watching this stream, but that's just kind of the way it is. North Holland is Amsterdam, South Holland is Rotterdam, and The Hague. That's kind of all that matters. Couple of defensive banes over here for Mixu. He's got 5 of them in total, which makes me wonder, do we also have 2 banelings on the other side of the map? I don't really see them anywhere. I still want to check. Yes, we do. They are very close. Oh, he's gonna go for the flanking bane, Mixu, but he misses it. It was actually Spazymazy who sent 2 banelings into the natural of Mixu. So Mixu had a great idea with the flanking baning. Now his lings are gonna try to run into the natural, and they will. Spazymazy has taken a very big economic lead, but Mixu is gonna try to strike back. That is not a wall off, my friend. Oh, that's not a wall off. The roach one doesn't get cancelled, it gets killed. I still think Spazymazy is in a very good spot, but he does need to start taking care of this. 1 more baneling shows up, connects with a couple of links. Alright, this is EVZ, guys. As our man Piggy would call it, a knife fight in a phone booth. More drones dying. I mean, Mixu definitely finding damage, but I still think he needs more. Mixu needs more, Mixu wants more. Mixu's gonna do his best to get more. That baning gets cancelled too. It's funny how it feels that Mixu is getting victory after victory, but it's still Spazymazy who's absolutely in the lead of this game. An 8 worker lead. He's down a queen, but that's okay. Mixu has a few more lings, but he's got no banelings at the moment. Takes one of the banelings off. Has now 2 banelings. They're gonna morph all the way over here. Okay. I think he saw these lings. Do we have any lings at home, Mixu? Mixu's running links, by the way, into the 3rd base of Spazymazy. Banelings here are good enough to keep at least Mixu safe. Well, Spazymazy says, alright, it's my time. You've had your fun. That's a lot of Zerglings, but they do avoid the big connection. 0 banelings at the moment for Mixu. A couple of them are morphing though. Spazymazy's here with lings and a baneling, but baneling doesn't get the best connection. What do we get here? We get the queens, maybe? No, what a save by Mixu. At first, Mixu, can he save both of the queens? No, he cannot. He did kill 2 drones during this. Mixu's actually done very good in the last minute of this game, but Spazymazy's still looking for a little more. I don't think he's gonna get a whole lot more though. Kind of running out of steam. He did invest in Carapace. Both of them still working with hatchery attack, guys. No lairs have been fired up. More banelings. 3 against 2. You could go for the 3 against 2 trade if you want to, or the 2. Oh, that's a great connection by Spazymazy. Mixu now in a bit of trouble, as that was the vast majority of the Zerglings, but his own defensive banelings are still here. They're looking for connections. They find decent connections. Mixu still counterattacking though with a couple of links. He did this earlier. He grabbed 2 drones. Now he grabs 4. But Mixu actually gets more done than Spazymazy gets done. That queen gets saved. Whew, what a save. 2 HP. Maybe 1 HP even. By the time I clicked on it, it was 2. Alright. 7 minutes of Ling Bane battling. What is this? Wings of Liberty over here? Mixu knows there is a low HP queen here. He would love to go for it. Can he get that snipe? Yes, he does. Well done. And now it's Spazymazy's turn once more with a lot of links. Does Mixu have any defensive banelings? Just 1. I don't know where it is. That's where it was. Uh-oh, now the floodgates are open. That's a lot of links inside of the main base. There is a baneling coming for Mixu. This game is wild, man. These guys are gaming 7.5 minutes of non-stop Ling Bane action. In the end, Mixu cleans it up one more time. There are more links running into the 3rd base. Yes, Mixu has also fired up his own lair, but it's quite a bit later than the one of Spazymazy. He finds all of these morphing banes. I think they will finish up in time. At least 3 out of 4 are going to finish up in time. Who gets the connections that they are looking for? 5 drones have died somewhere. Good snipes on these banes, by the way, but 1 baneling still remaining gets a tiny connection as now Spazymazy grabs another queen. What a game. Jesus, 118 links and 85 links. That is 193 Zerglings that have died in an 8-minute game. And Spazymazy now says, alright, 4 bases. Is this the Spire moment then? Do we have a Spire? No, we have no gas. Well, we have 3 gases, but we're not gonna go for that yet. More Lynx, more Banes. Couple Roaches on the way as well. Mixu's now down to 1 queen, by the way, guys. A single queen. A single queen for Mixu. Oh, that was great by Spazymazy. He activates 2 Banelings with only 2 Zerglings. All of these Lings are going to run into the main base one more time. The Danish Zerg is absolutely on fire. I feel like he's playing a great game. I did not think he was able to match Mixu in games like this, where it really is all about speed and multitasking and micro. Does lose a lot of Zerglings there, and he's down 15 drones. So it looked promising, but he doesn't quite get the damage that he's looking for. Now Mixu is actually doing a fantastic job in making sure that he doesn't take too much damage. This is a massive worker difference. That looked promising, but he didn't get anything done because Mixu, even though he only had a single queen there for a bit, did a 10 out of 10 job with his roaches. And if Mixu can just pick up on the fact that this is a Spire and he can attack right now, well, he's actually going to go for his own Spire, which is perfectly fine because he's up 17 workers. He's down a base, but he's up 17 workers. No roach speed, by the way, for Mixu. I don't know how I feel about moving out with slow roaches. Spazymazy knows that he could be in some trouble, so he's going to try to buy some time with Zerglings, and he grabs 2 roaches. Well done. Mixu made a roach one. We need to pick up on the fact that we have never started roach speed, when he picks up on it now. A quicker Spire for Spazymazy, who also has 18 roaches, by the way. His roaches do have speed. And he's now actually going to trap a couple of these roaches of Mixu. This EVZ is just a gift that keeps on giving. Maybe we should go back now, or he's just happy with the fight that he's getting. He's got 1-1 upgrades. Mixu's got 1-1 upgrades too, but not having roach speed is so painful. The supplies heavily favored Mixu not too long ago, but for getting roach speed is so omega painful. Retreating with slow roaches off trip is just a nightmare. 7 meters on the way for the Danish Zerg. He sees a low HP hedge, and he finally gets what he has been looking for. Throughout these first 11 minutes, he gets what he is looking for. 2 Banelings splash all over these roaches. Now it's 4 bases against 3 bases. Alright, this is quite the game. A proper slobber knocker. Mixu realizes that he is a little late with his own Spire. He queued up a couple mutas, but then he says, you know what, I need Corruptors, but he needs these units right here, right now. There is not that much anti. I would go for drones here, by the way. Spazymazy, if I was you, I would go for drones. He doesn't want to go for drones, he wants to go for roaches. He gets 2 more queens. There are some drones falling, but not too many. Is this a fight that Spazymazy can win? I guess the longer it goes on, the better it will be for the man with superior mutas for now. Jeez. Oh my. 12 minutes of what feels like non-stop battling. 57 workers apiece. And Spazymazy now sees Corruptors showing up too. But I think he's kind of done with his mutas, right? He's got 9. I think he's just going to go all out on the roach production. Neither player really fired up. +2 missile attacks or +2 carapace. Right when I say that, Mixu says, I'll be that guy, Roddy. I don't mind you being that guy, Mixu. 2 mutas, 6 Corruptors. Don't know if that's enough to really win the fight against 9 mutas. Spazymazy is gonna try to outmaneuver the anti-air units of Mixu. Send his mutas to the bottom side of the map. There's a single Spore Crawler here, I believe. It was not done earlier. As Mixu says, you know, maybe this is my moment then to kill a few more drones. As he splits off a couple of roaches. This is a very even fight. How are these mutas doing? They're not doing a whole lot. 2-3 fights happening at pretty much any given moment. Spazymazy has not done the best job in cleaning up these roaches. They're low on HP. Feels that the mutas of the Danish Zerg have been a bit underwhelming in the last minute. Roach count 31 against 26. Mixu has a few more, but obviously being the aggressor makes life a bit more difficult. The mutas have shown up one more time at that 6 o'clock base. We're going to take a little look at this roach fight at first. Mixu sort of wins it. Spazymazy wants to get the hedge, but you're not going to get that hedge. No, this is not the play. I mean, softening it up to get it later on could be the play. One more queen here is in danger and is going to get picked off. Spazymazy will run these roaches deep inside of the main base. There are still battles happening over here on the left side of the map. More roaches. I think they're going for that low HP hatch, but Mixu has a good read on this situation, and he lands a corrosive bow. He's going to pick off a lot of these roaches. Oh, Spazy, this was not the play. It was obvious what he tried to do there. He wanted to go for that hatchery that he already softened up, but he's not going to get it. And don't forget that Mixu is the one who fired up +2 missile attacks. Mixu is the one who now has a 50 supply lead. This game has been all over the shop. He wants to get that lair. That also means he's going to lose a couple of corruptors, but he will get that lair, guys. Nothing that can really save it. And the roaches of Mixu and the ravages of Mixu are about to become a bit more powerful. Spazymazy has one last Ave up his sleeve. He's been saving, and he fires up 16 mutas. So we're about to go into 21 Mutalisk, and against only 4 corruptors. This would be a sick play, but he's going to lose everything. Oh, he's going to lose all the roaches. I mean, the muta count is about to get crazy freaking high. Does Mixu have an infestation pit? No. Is there a world where mass muta can surprise Mixu and still win? Guys, this is 24 Mutalisk. 24 freaking mutas. And I'm now gonna get on top of these roaches. And Mix is probably like, WTF, mate. Where the hell did you get all that money from? Mix is gonna fire up his own 8 mutas, but it's gonna take a long time, Mixu, before you really catch up in the muta department. Oh my god, if Spazymazy still wins this game, it's such a cool ZVZ. It will be a ZVZ that I will remember for a long time. Mixu is okay with just sacrificing the vast majority of these roaches, as he just wants to deal damage. The corruptors are gonna show up as well, just to buy some time. Mixu's supply is dropping real quick, and I kind of feel like he's not killing that much. The mutas of Spazymazy are 0-0, that's worth mentioning. He's getting 16 drones for almost all of his roaches. It is obviously 4 base against 3. Muta counts are getting closer, but I don't know. Alright, now Mixu goes back into Corruptus. I think he realizes that even though he is richer and he's got 4 base, I don't know if Mixu should be here, man. I really don't think that Mixu should be here, guys. Mixu wants to be here, but that means he's going to lose these 4 mutas almost immediately. The Corruptors are in a bit of trouble as well. The roaches will try to buy some time. Spazymazy has successfully turned this game on its head. And Mixu is now going to try to buy some time with spores, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Maybe he can buy time with roaches again. I think it still belongs to Spazymazy. That's insane. What a game. The Danish Zerg will get that hatch that he was looking for a long time ago. Mixu is going to try to take this fight one more time. The corruptor count is a bit higher right now, but the muta count of Spazymazy is so freaking high. 25 mutas against 9 corruptors. There is a spore in the back. There are 2 spores in the back. Okay, close. Corruptor count growing at a very rapid pace. Yeah, I don't know if it's enough. Now it's obviously 3 bases against 3 bases, but losing your natural is a lot better than losing your 4th base. Corruptors are starting to fall one by one. Spazymazy can do this all day, every day, because this base are still so many resources left. While the natural doesn't have many resources left. And after 17 minutes of non-stop battling, this is actually such a cool, amazing game. It is Spazymazy who somehow still wins this, while banking up some resources and firing up 16 mutas at once. Right when you think this game is done with its twists and turns and that it belongs to Mixu. That's insane. What a game. Wow. Whew. That's normally about all I can take. And game 2, Solaris. And thing. Just non-stop. They went up to 30 drones, and after that they started battling and they never ever stopped. And we're not talking about one battle at a time. Run-bys, battle at the top side of the map, bottom side of the map. Really cool stuff between these two. The Danish Zerg, who got a lot of love in the Discord, takes the 1-0 lead. Mixu is ready. I actually didn't even see that he was banking up that many resources for that mass muta switch. That's cool. Very, very fun game. What determines the prize awards of the matches? Just the order. First match is always $75. Second one is $100. Third one is $125, and the last one is for $200. And in general, the better the players get, the more money is on the line, unless we have a very special main event with like a caster or something. This is the second series of the night, which means 80 bucks for the winner and 20 for the loser. Like, these guys could honestly be the third match of the night as well, but I had to give it to our two Protoses. But it was very close. Like, this match and the PvP that's about to come are about the same level. So sometimes you have to pick the order.
Round 2, fight!
Bottom left side, down 0-1, but I think he played a damn good game. Don't forget that he was in all sorts of trouble when he lost all those slow roaches in the center of the map. He was in trouble when there were links in his natural, banelings dealing a lot of economic damage. It's just a bizarre game. Thought he had it, and in the end, the Muras got the best of him. This is the Finnish Zerg, Mixu. Thank you, Gypsy Danger. Really fun series by you as well, mate. People loved it. I loved it. I think you could have won game 1 and game 3 too, but I know it's hard to play against that stuff. Especially if there is someone who keeps on doing that build and has a lot of experience with it. I thought it was a very fun series. You played well. Congrats. Top right side, an absolutely fantastic ZVZ coming out of the Mura Master. Hailing from Denmark. This is Spazymazy. Vipers are hard, Lord Mortarius. Because for Vipers you need an infestation pit, you need hive, then you need to suck on energy. Like, if you tell Mixu in the beginning of the game, like, hey Mixu, do you know what you need to worry about? This guy surprising you with 20 plus Mutalisk when he's losing the game. Then of course Mixu could have head into that direction. But in such a close nail-biting ZVZ where they both take economic damage, lose queens, lose hatcheries, it's not that easy to sneak in an infestation pit and suddenly go hive and get Vipers. And on top of that, these guys are very good. So like a single Viper and a single Power Bomb is not going to kill all these Muras. Like if you have one Viper only, they just find the Mura that's affected by the Parasitic Bomb, they split it off, and then you could still be in trouble. Like, only multiple Vipers or the combination of Vipers and Infestors are very good. But then obviously the resources that are required for that increase tremendously. It's not that easy. We all know which units are good against which units, but getting there is a whole different story. And I think in that previous game it was very hard for Mixu to ever find a moment to sneak in infestation pit and fire up a hive. Spazymazy opened up with the early air pool. Not getting much done so far. Mixu only losing a single link. Good job saving those drones. Mixu is the first to drop the Baneling nest. Banelings, I think Zergling speed is like a little bit quicker on the side of Mixu, but really not much separating the two so far. Corruptors and Hydras now. Because Hydras are also only really good once they get both their upgrades and in big numbers. It's just that I think where Mixu lost the game is when he brought his 5 Corruptors and 6 Muras to the other side of the map. That was just not the moment yet to also have his anti-air units on the other side of the map. If he would have just kept the anti-air units at home and he would have bought time with only the roaches, then I think it would have been a lot more doable. Then you just spam Corruptors, and a combination between Queens, Corruptors, Spore Crawlers would have been fine. And I think sending the very few anti-air units he had, when he had like 12 or so against the 25 Muras, I think that's kind of where he lost it. But it was such a chaotic game, and I understand why he did it. Because he probably thought, I'm going to make it hard for the Muras to figure out what they need to focus on. As Mixu is the first one, by the way, to sneak a couple Banelings into the natural. Spazymazy, the first Baneling doesn't get too much. The second Baneling gets a couple of links. Now 2 Banes remain. No. Okay, I would go for it there. He doesn't want to go for it. Mixu has 24 supply, guys. Spazymazy has gone up to 31 drones, but he is in a bit of trouble. A lot of drones going to be very low on HP. If Mixu can sneak 10 more links into the main, he's going to kill all of these drones. He's already killing 7. And he's losing all of his queens. I think it's kind of just game over. A little too greedy. Spazymazy went up to 3 bases before. He fired up 10 more workers, and he's paying a hefty price for it. Does he have any Banelings now? No, still no Banes. Spazymazy is morphing 2 Banes, but I have the feeling that's on the other side of the map. No, one is at home. Oh, kind of lives for now. How many queens are left? 1. Still down though. Mix is still firing up nothing but links. These guys just love. No! Oh! Man, a manual detonation there would have actually killed 20 links. And that could have been a real game changer. Spacey was looking for the connection, did not quite get the connection. He's now going for a 4 Baneling run by, but there are barely any drones here. So you may as well do it in the main. I'm keeping an eye on the minimap as Mixu is working on this hatchery. What are these 4 Banelings up to? Get a couple there. What is Mixu up to here? Oh man. Any low HP drones in the main? And not quite. There are like 4 fights happening now at once. I'm gonna keep an eye on these 2 Banelings for now. I kind of feel that Spazymazy is managing this alrighty. But right when I say that, more Banelings finish up for Mixu. And Mixu gets the connections that he is looking for. And that is good enough. After 5 minutes and 42 seconds, we are all tied up. Mixu was the one to hold down that link button first. He was the one to morph the Banelings a bit quicker. You can see here, this point, where Mixu says, alright, it is nothing but lings and banes. Spazymazy went up to 3 bases a bit quicker, fired up a few more drones, and unfortunately could never quite recover. It always comes down to one connect, to bit connect. You play the game of drones. You either live long enough to see yourself as a rich Zerg, or you die. It's a classic. In game 3, all Cyany. Spacey had to work incredibly hard for his victory. Mixu had to work somewhat hard for it as well. But I would say that the momentum right now is in favor of Mixu. Where if you lose a nail-biter 18-19 minute game with non-stop battles, but then you just tie things up by making a few links and banes a bit earlier than your opponent, you're like, huh, you worked hard. I saved my energy. I like my victory more. 1-1. No 3-0s yet tonight, guys. We love that. Game 3. El Cyany. Second series of the night. Next up is a PvP. Main event is PvT. Round 3.
Round 3. Fight.
We had an earlier pool last game, but it was not a 12 pool. This time around, we are going for the 12 pool. Top right side, BB, EX, Spazymazy. Woohoo! Nice guy. Big football fan as well. Loves the Copenhagen. Bottom left side, we are looking in the main base of our Finnish Zerg, tying things up by holding down that link button and finding some good Baneling connections. This is Berserker, Esports, and Mixu. How different that game would have looked if when all the links ran up that ramp on Solaris, if the Baneling would have gone for a manual detonation. I actually think that Spacey would have killed so many Zerglings there. But yeah, that comes down to literally 0.1 second. Mixu's gonna go hatch first. And we're gonna queue up another drone. And another drone. If we now also take the oh, and another drone. Not gonna be the easiest 12 pool defense ever. And the gas. Well, I wonder if there is a... Well, yeah, he's not gonna go for it. It will just be 12 pool expand. I feel like this would have been a difficult scenario for Mixu to deal with the 12 pool drone pool. We can take a little look at the vision of Mixu, guys. We're now following Mixu's camera. As Mixu's just doing his thing. He's like, nice. ZVZ, fun series so far. Probably what he expected. He knew it wasn't going to be easy. Has not seen the Zerglings yet. He's moving his overlords, trying to gather some vision. Spamming some camera hotkeys. Still hasn't seen them yet. This right here is the first time the Mixu sees it. And now I guess the question is, how many drones are we pulling? Losing the hatch is something that you cannot afford. You're allowed to lose a drone. You're allowed to lose 2 drones. If you lose 3 drones or more, you're going to be a bit unhappy. If you lose the hatchery, you're going to be omega unhappy. That's not that many drones. It's a decent amount, but not that many. Mixu must be very confident in his defense. It's going to be a close call, but the first lings have hatched. Taking that fight. I don't know how I feel about this defense so far, guys. It's either going to be absolutely fantastic on a knife edge, or it's just not quite good enough. So far, I think it's okay, but the hatchery is low on HP. We can't lose the hatch. We really don't want to lose the hatch, Mixu. Mixu does not want to lose the hatch. He is going to lose it. It is awfully close. But Spazymazy gets the hatchery. Mixu, I think, went for a bit of a minimalistic defense there. Did not really pull an overwhelming amount of drones, which forced him to just kind of do a lot of running and trying to buy some time. Spazymazy knows it. Right now, he is in an absolutely fantastic spot. As long as he doesn't randomly die, but why would he? 20 workers against 20 workers, but 2 bases are better than 1. And the slow links, I don't think they will be able to do a whole lot. Queens can obviously keep the main safe. Spinecrawler coming online. Great start for the Danish Zerg. I feel that most of the time I see Zergs pull a few more drones than Mixu did. And obviously Mixu did a great job in not losing any workers. I think he lost a single one there. That's obviously not bad. But yeah, if you don't have that many units there, you need to do a lot of running. And if you're running, the hatchery is a bit exposed. And he also waited a long time to pull them, so the hatchery was already dropping a bit low on HP. Wouldn't quite say that this is like Omega game over, even though Reina would absolutely tell you guys that this is game over. I think these guys are very good, but they're so close to each other's skill level, and I think they have different strengths and weaknesses as well. That I believe there is a world where Mixu can still turn this around, especially with a quicker third base. But advantage Spazymazy, that's for sure. I think we can all agree on that. I will give Reina that. Lair. 4-minute lair after a 12 pull. Zerg. The possibilities truly are endless. So I guess Spazymazy's... I wanted to say he's just gonna go for a +1 roach attack, but that is not the case at all, guys. He fires a +1 melee. We don't even have Zergling speed yet. The Mudas, guys. The Mudalisk. This would be a sick base for Spazy to take as his 4th. I guess you can also take the gold. It's a little bit risky what he's doing here, but he's gonna get away with it. Mixu has never started Zergling speed either. He probably feels that this is a roach game and all he needs to worry about is having enough roaches. So he didn't want to spend that gas on Zergling speed when that wouldn't really come into play. But I think looking at what Spazymazy is doing, it'd actually be pretty damn sweet to have Zergling speed. The numbers are close. I do feel that this game favors Spazymazy quite a bit. I guess it all comes down to how successful the Mudalisk will be. No, he did not. I mean, there's a good chance that he started it and then he cancelled it after he saw that Spazymazy had a 2-base setup and saw the Roach one go down. Maybe based on what he saw here, he cancelled it. Mixu's firing up a lot of roaches. His roaches will have +1 missile attack. Spazymazy has a couple of safety roaches. I think the just in case. I don't think he even really needs them. Mixu's going to not be very happy with this scout. Well, he's going to be happy that he gets the correct scout. He's not going to be very happy with what he sees here. He's like, Mudas. Immediately drops the infestation pit as a response. And now rallies all of his units to the other side of the map. I don't think that's going to do a lot for him. I don't like that idea. Mixu doesn't like that idea either. It happens very often, guys. It's not a crazy play to have Zergling speed on the way. Because obviously what people sometimes do is 12 pull into a Ling flood afterwards. Or 12 pull into killing the hatch and then spamming Ling Bane. If that's the case, you want to have your own Zergling speed. But if you then scout something where you feel like you don't need Zergling speed, you cancel it. It's not something that's unheard of. It's actually pretty common in ZVC. Unfortunately for Mixu, it wasn't the roaches that he had to worry about. It was the Mudalisk. Queen count is 6. That's decent. First infestors on the way. I think going up to 4 bases is going to be hell, to put it in Mixu's words for him. The 3-base setup, though, it seems pretty safe and sound. And he does have some spellcasters to already deal with those Mudas. Maybe we can even fire up the hive. Oh, a RotterdaM. Okay. Will Mixu go for the all-out 3-base defense, or is he gonna try to sneak in a 4th base, I guess at the bottom side of the map? Well, Mutalisk dies there. 7 more Mutas at once. Surprised that Spazymazy takes this base. I mean, I'm not a high-level Zerg, but I would have either taken the gold, because he's obviously gonna spam links and banes as well. That's only one guess. Maybe that's why he takes. Maybe it makes sense. Or the rich Vespian guys, but that one is really out there. The queens are having a very hard time as the Muta count is a little bit higher than Mixu thought it was going to be. 1 fungal does connect. We have 2 more fungals to work with, but fungal just kind of tickles these days. It's tickle, tickle, tickle. Lands another fungal, but he's best going to get a single Muta for that. So we have now used almost all of our energy on the infestors, and what did we get? 2, 3 Mutalisk. 7 have died in total. A couple of them obviously died battling the queens. 1 died against the spore here. Yeah, you can see Spazymazy immediately taking both of the gases. Well, Mixu is good friends with Raynor. And Raynor definitely had an amazing ZVZ or 2 throughout his career where you just kind of dig in your heals. 3 bases. You get some lurkers, you get some wall-offs, you get some spore crawlers. And you're just saying like, alright, you can be a 4-base, 5-base, 6-base Zerg. I'm just gonna try to get eventually the Dream Zerg army of Vipers and Lurkers with both of the upgrades. And I'm gonna try to stabilize on 3 bases for the longest time. So already sending out the drone now. Even before he has any Lurkers. But he's gonna morph the first 2. Obviously no upgrades yet. Hive is close to finishing up. The infestors, even if they use their energy earlier, they're still alive. That's pretty big. So now we could immediately queue up a Viper or 2 as well. I think this hatch is going to get cancelled, but probably only a single time. Mutas go for the Spore Crawlers here. A little bit ambitious, but I guess there's not that much NTR, so that's okay. 1 Spore dies. Few Hydras showing up. Mutas... Well, looking back at it now, going for that Spore was a mistake, guys. If you go for the hatchery immediately, you get it. Nice little triangle spores here. Lurker count at 4. 2 keeping the 3rd safe. Don't know if running into this with this army is a great idea. 21 Banelings. Baneling speed done, +2 melee done. Spazymazy also dropping the infestation pit. Running Banelings into Lurkers though, guys, is scary. And now the Vipers are out, and the Vipers are gathering energy, and they will have enough energy for a parasitic bomb in the near future. I don't know about this attack that Spazymazy is going to go for. It's a bit of a hell or glory attack. Are we going to drop a single parabomb here? Ooh, nice denial on +2. Parabomb on the Overseer. Okay. But that's an easy one to find. This is a big base to take because of the rich Vespian guys. We have 2 Lurkers and a bunch of roaches at the bottom side of the map. Spazymazy is now getting fungal and parabombs landing. That's a lot of Mutas falling to all this spellcasting from Mixu. I don't think Spazy quite expected that. I think he was setting up his big attack at the bottom side of the map. Now obviously the boy is very rich, so he can take a couple trades like this. Turns around. Couple Banelings looking for connections on the Hydras. All the Lings and Banes. Seems like these Lurkers that were once upon a time here have moved. They have moved towards here. Well, yeah, they are revealed as well. They're Overseers. I think it's just a little too much firepower. Even though the Muta count is very low. Split up your Muta, mate. I mean, I know there's still a bunch of Banelings. Yeah, that Parabomb has dealt an insane amount of damage. Another Parabomb by Mixu. That means that these Mutas, those Spazymazy, absolutely need to avoid that. I mean, Spazy is so damn rich. I wouldn't hate a Hive here, by the way. That wasn't that bad for Mixu, to be completely fair. Mixu's got 98 army supply at the moment. I don't know about attacking. I think attacking is maybe a bit too much, because I think you're going to get cleaned up here, mate. Your Hydras are not that sexy. And they are on top of that, not in overwhelming numbers. He will get on top of a couple of the Banelings. The supply looks great for Mixu, but I don't think he should be here. I think he does not have enough anti-air. Almost feels to me that he's underrating how rich Spazymazy really is. And here you guys can see these Hydras are going to get picked up. There are still 16 Hydras on the map. Where are they then? If those 16 Hydras all show up at once, maybe. Alright. Spazymazy bleeding out a few more. Nice positioning here with the roaches. There is some potential here, guys. One Baneling looking for a connection, does not get the connection. Another Parabomb goes down in the middle of the Mutalisk. Good split there by Spazymazy. Oh, now I do start absolutely believing in this attack, as Spazymazy lost a lot of his Banelings. And he cannot quite clean up the Mutas, excuse me, the Hydras. And on top of that, these Parabombs are dealing a ridiculous amount of damage. And after a 13-minute game, it is Mixu who still wins, killing 46 Mutalisk and dropping a couple of absolutely devastating parasitic bombs. I do think that's a bit of a throw on the side of Spazymazy. Did say in the beginning of the game that no matter how good that start was, there is room for comebacks. These guys are good, but losing the hatch is not necessarily game over. Well done by Mixu. I think he made a lot of the correct choices. I think Spazy got a little bit reckless. And on top of that, struggled spending his money a little. Sitting on like 2k minerals. I don't know how much gas he was sitting on, but it was a decent amount as well. 90 drones is not bad, as long as you keep on remaxing immediately. Maybe he missed some injects. Mixu takes the 2-1 lead after a very rough start in game 3. Maybe also like a few times just fighting with a couple of Mutas rather than all of them, because the Hydra count at first wasn't that intimidating. Kudos to Mixu, realizing that there was potential there with the Roaches, and those Roaches did a great job in blocking for the Hydras over and over again. If this was an NFL game, a lot of quarterbacks would be very happy with the O-line or the D-line of the Roaches. I don't know which line it is, but they did a good job. Game 4, Hecate. Very fun, action-packed ZVZ between these two gamers. Spazy will probably be kicking himself a little bit for that game 3. But it's all good. This has been close and competitive enough that he too can turn things around.
Round 4. Fight!
Top right side of Hecate, the Danish Zerg, who went for the 12 pool in game 3, got the hatchery kill, but could not capitalize on that great start. Spazymazy. Woohoo! Hitting us with the thumbs up spray every single game. Bottom left side, this man is going to be more than happy that he was still able to close that out. A couple great fungals and absolutely fantastic parasitic bombs were good enough to reduce that muta count up to the point where Roaches and Hydras could get the job done. This is Berserker Esports Mixu. No 12 pools this time around. Both of our video gamers have made a gentleman's agreement. We'll just go for the hatchery first. Then we get another 5-map series. I don't know. I felt that it had a serious potential if Spazymazy would have won game 3. But I think losing that game 3 is going to be pretty tough to bounce back from. But it has been close and competitive, so there is definitely a chance. But I feel like, not just because Mixu's in the lead, but overall I think the momentum is in Mixu's favor. Like that very quick and cheeky game 2 victory helps, and then game 3 you have a rough start, but you actually turn it around. And knowing that game 1 was almost yours as well after being in all sorts of trouble. I'd rather be in Mixu's shoes than in Spazymazy's, and that's not just because of the 2-1 lead in the best of 5. But we'll see. I've been really enjoying whenever I invite Spazymazy to play some games or we cast him in any other online tournament. He definitely surprises me because he takes big breaks. He's an old school Danish Zerg. He's been around for a very long time. I think back of the early DreamHack days, he would often travel together with my buddy Space Marine and what is our Danish meching Terran friend name again? Damn it! Danish Terran who always played mech for many years, and he's actually good at it, unlike many other people who always play mech. They had a little squad and the Danish crew would always travel together. Why can't I think of his name right now? No, not Bunny. Lillekanen, thank you. Lillekanen. Little Bunny. So yeah, Spazymazy definitely very old school. He's been around for a while, and at one point I kind of thought he was done, and he came back and he was a lower ranked Zerg, like 5-2, 5-3. Like, people often come back and they're just like 700 MMR lower than they used to be. But he has put in some serious work. I guess he's also dreaming of qualifying for the Europe Regionals. Yeah, I was definitely thinking of Lillekanen. Aggression is also, I would say, a friend of mine. His name is Kevin too. not really a mech guy. And I don't think aggression went to offline events very often. There was always a Space Marine, Spazymazy, Lilakanen, and I feel like there was one more guy that they traveled with. And I'm not thinking of Bunny, that was a bit before that even. Who's the other? Oh, the Protoss. Damn it, what's his name? Like a 6k Protoss that was around forever from Denmark. No, not Baby Knight, that was a bit too long ago. There was another Protoss. They had a little squad, they would always travel together. Alright, we have 4 Banelings of Spazymazy very casually running into the natural, but good split here by Mixu. Velmo is finished, guys. Not a part of that group. Good splits here by Mixu, but obviously eventually you need to start going back to mining. Baneling connections are not fantastic there for Mixu. Mixu's in a bit of trouble and he clumps up the drone. Spazymazy kills 10 drones immediately. What an absolutely flying start. Well, you guys were asking for back-to-back 5-game series. We're not quite there yet, but those were sweet connections. And don't forget that all the drones not mining for a while, that also hurt your economy. This is what I was looking for, not this part. Yeah, Spazy absolutely gets what he's looking for. There's one more Baneling here in the mix. Ooh, not the worst connection. Lynx trying to run into the natural and the doors are wide open, so we don't just get Lynx into the natural, we get Lynx into the main. Keep an eye on the minimap, there are more Lynx and I think some Banelings as well working on the hatchery. Good connections there by Mixu though. I feel like we had one more Baneling somewhere. Mixu's crisis management is excellent though. There are some moments where I really think, I feel like you're gonna fall apart here. There is just too many things to worry about, too many screens to look at, too many fires to take care of, but Mixu does a very good job in that regard and still kind of does here. Cleans up his main, keeps most of the drones safe. And the numbers are still pretty damn even. Spazymazy is the first one to fire up an upgrade though, and upgrades matter a lot, especially in Link Bane scenarios. No, not Strintren. That's too long ago. The Protoss, you should know Diablo. I played him once in the qualifiers for Remake Masters, or I played him twice actually. 1-1. Poppy Joe, there you go. That was the Danish crew. They always travel together, those 4. And they were all pretty similar skilled, I would say. It was a very nice group and it was really fun to always see them just travel around Europe and participate in all those remakes. Spazymazy has to do it without his buddies today. It's all about him. Ooh, that was close. Where are the Banelings? Oh, Spazy, here they are. Both players dropped the Roach War. Neither of them has felt confident enough to fire up a lair. So it is 6 minutes of old school ZVZ fun. Feel obviously Spazy is a little bit ahead. He has dealt more damage. There is a low HP hatchery to worry about for Mixu. Now it is important not to get too tunnel vision on it. Big Zergling run by potentially. There are no Banelings waiting. Mixu is also attacking on the other side of the map. But I want to show you guys first what's happening over here in the main base of Mixu. This queen, by the way, is doing God's work. Buying a lot of time for these Lings and Banes of Mixu to actually make it into the main. How good are these Baneling connections going to be? Not fantastic. There are still Lings left over. Spazymazy is still streaming down more Zerglings to the bottom side of the map. That Baneling connection is good. Use your Lynx here, mate. Ah, the Lynx is still in hold position. As we are so focused on the reinforcements, we're so focused on that battle, that now Mixu can actually clean up everything that was in his main. But he is running out of Banelings, and the extra Zerglings of Spazymazy have arrived.
Reinforcements have arrived.
And then that is good enough to get the hatchery kill. How many queens are left for Mixu? 0. 0 queens and 2 bays, but that's potentially a devastating Baneling connection. Devastating turned into a good one. I think as long as Spazymazy can just spam Lings and Banes now, he's going to be fine. He can also drone up. He's got the +1 Carapace upgrade, guys, and that means that his Zerglings will survive a Baneling connection of Mixu. But obviously still drops them very low in HP. First few roaches for Mixu are out. Oh, 2 Banelings. Nope, not good enough. He's just going to go for the surround on a couple of these roaches, but all the Banelings of Mixu do finish up. Mixu still needs to worry though about a couple of Lings that are roaming around. Spazymazy has not... Yeah, he has seen actually the 3rd hatchery going up. Surprised that he didn't just go for that, as Mixu finds the APM, finds the units to go for a tiny counterattack. And he says this game is not quite over yet. Look at me finding some damage. surprising that he's getting that damage. Meanwhile, the Lynx getting cleaned up on the other. No, Spacey, you're not done yet. Spazymazy, mate, you are not done yet. Mixu is really turning this around. This is so much damage that he found with this tiny Link run by. And these Links are still alive. Finally, Spazymazy is going to work on this hatch. This is something that he could have done a very long time ago. Now, if he gets the kill or the cancel, it's still, I think, an alright game for him, even if he's down 7 workers. And he is going to get the kill. I think Mixu is just going to send it, guys. Oh, 2 base. Hello. I think it's just going to be maybe 2 base Roach Bane of hatchery tech. He's got 45 drones, so maybe he doesn't want to do that. No. Fires up the lair. He's not going to send it. He was just repositioning units. Well, it looked almost over. When Mixu had 0 queens and was down to 2 bases, it really didn't look like he had a lot of stuff going for himself. That tiny Link counterattack was fantastic. Spacey definitely missing out on an opportunity or 2. Baning connections here are good. There's so many Links coming out of the Danish Zerg. As he finds a drone, grabs the second. It's too many roaches to surround, but he could go for the hatch. Only 14 Links remaining. He's not going to get it. Lair is done. What are we going to do then with our lair? Just roaches, roach speed. Has not used his Evo chamber in quite some time. This has been a whirlwind of a best of 5. Very fast-paced games. Mixu is now kind of enjoying a 12 worker lead. The 3rd hatchery is done. So he lost it once. He lost it again over here. He has rebuilt it for the 3rd time in this game. And now he's enjoying a 10 worker lead where the roach count, I think, is very close. He does not have roach speed though, but he's very worried about Hydras, I think. Hydralisk are actually not very good in roach ravager battles. You do need to be careful. I don't know if Spazymazy can really do this. Ravager count 4 against 0 at the moment. Spacey is going to get his own Ravagers. Walking up this ramp, not having high ground vision permanently. It's going to be difficult. Mixu does need to be careful that he doesn't have roach speed. There is another Zergling run by happening in the natural. I think this is an excellent run by because that's going to make it so difficult for Mixu to also pay attention to this Roach Ravager fight. Spazymazy with roach speed is going to shove his units in. Kind of eats his own corrosive ball. Needs to avoid these though. Doesn't really avoid it, but he just runs in deeper and deeper. It seems like most of the Links have been taken care of. Can Mixu pull off another great hold here? A couple of the Ravagers are exposed and low in HP. Few more Links show up. Mixu will barely hold his 108 supply against 108 supply. Mixu does not have roach speed, but he's got queens. One of the queens unfortunately does fall. The second one falls. The reinforcements are popping at a very rapid pace. Now Mixu is the one who runs into his own corrosive ball, but he does hold. Wow. This has been a... okay, now he drops the Spire anyway. Oh, the RotterdaM. Okay, RotterdaM did finish up. I mean, Spazymazy is now a 4 base Zerg. He's going to queue up 7 more drones. So we're going to go from 55 all the way up to 63. I know that's 8, but I guess he had another one just popping. Map vision is, I think, heavily in favor of Spazymazy, even if Mixu still has some spotter overlords here and there. 27 roaches. 1 Ravager. It's been very chaotic all over the shop. Hard to predict, hard to call, because they drone up at such different moments. And both of them do really surprise me with sometimes the amount of damage they find or their ability to take care in limiting the damage and spreading out the units properly. Spazymazy making life a tiny bit hard on himself. He's down 25 army supply, he's bleeding out a few roaches. But that Spire is about to finish up. He is banking up the resources once more. He's going to be able to fire up like 15 Mudas at once. I wouldn't hate +1 flyer attacks. I feel like that's something that he didn't really get in one of these games. He is going to be able to surround these roaches. But now Mixu says, I can probably surround your roaches as well, as he finds a tiny Overlord farm. If Mixu would have grabbed everything and shoved it inside of this base, I think it would have been a great play. He's going to grab like 60% and now shove it in. Mixu will win this roach fight, but chasing is actually the wrong play, guys, because now the Mudas come out, and the Mudas will start pushing out damage. I think in the end this will turn into a good fight for Spazymazy. He's going to save his hatchery. It is only 11 mutas, but even 11 mutas obviously pack a punch. Not if it's only 3 or 4. He lost all of his roaches surprisingly quick. I don't think Mixu can truly stick around. Mixu wants to stick around though a little bit. He does have +1 carapace. Carapace helps if the mutas don't have any attack upgrades. Spazymazy split off a couple of links to go for this hatch. He's not going to get it. How many drones is Mixu going to get here, guys? That's the big question. I think anything more than 10, he can be kind of happy. Grabbing 4 rather quickly, and it seems like that's kind of it for now. Splitting off a few roaches to run deep into the natural, and he's going to grab a few more. I think in the end, he's going to get like 8, maybe 9. That is going to do it. So not bad, not fantastic. How many Hydras do we have? 9 Hydras are out, 4 more on the way. Overlords are in all the wrong places because these games have been chaotic. Hydras are now lost as well. Hello? I don't know if you can quite do this yet. Well, he's going to go for it anyway. We have 19 Mulisk in total. I don't know if all 19 Mulisk are here though. Hydras. Queens is trying to do their thing. The Hydras have groove spines. That's the only upgrade they really have. And obviously the +2 missile attacks. So we fire it up for the roaches. Somehow Mixu splitting up 3 more roaches, grabbing 7 additional workers. Do we have anti-air here? No, no spore crawlers, so the mutas also find damage. Such an insane ZVZ best of 5 between these two. Spazymazy is down in supply. He's up in workers. Mixu kind of feels that he's going to have one great attack of roaches and hydras. And Space is just going to try to buy some time. We've got Lynx chilling here. If the Lynx would have just gone for the drones, it would have been fantastic. He's doing a little ring around the rosy here. Picking up a queen. Picking up a couple hydras at a time. It's so difficult to defend against hydras. Against Mutalisk like that. A lot of the hydras were waiting in the main. Now the Lynx and Mutas are going to get on top of these drones as well. Mixu drops the infestation pit. And the worker counts have completely swung. Now heavily in favor of Spazymazy. Both of them have killed 33 drones of one another. I mean, if it's double 33, we kind of have to, right? It's great Muta movement by the man who loves to build Mutalisk in every single matchup. We've seen him do it in the ZVTs against Foxer once upon a time in the BBB. We see him do it in ZVZs here today. And every Protoss on the ladder will know. But if you don't open up with a Stargate, Spazymazy is going to build some Mutas. Great position on the roaches of Mixu here. But splits off 4 more, looking for a tiny bit of additional damage. Infestation pit is online for Mixu. These non-stop roach 1 bites are fantastic. He's got burrow too. Spazymazy has an overseer on top of it. Failings crashing into roaches, not quite it. Clumsy defense here, guys, by Spazymazy. He says, alright, F it, mate. If you're gonna find some damage, I wanna find damage. He does need to keep on moving these mutas. He wants one more falling, but he can't really stick around. At least not for now, but it hatchery is so low on HP that it's gonna be very difficult for Mixu to keep it alive. You will leave any hydras behind in the main, and not this time. They are making their way over from the natural. Spazymazy sees the infestation pit. I think you can take this fight, by the way, mate. That's 6 mutas. You can take that fight. It's a very chaotic game, but that's absolutely, I think, a fight he could take. Even if the mutas have some upgrades. This is way more mutas, but he's going to outmaneuver them. He gets the hedge, but he also eats a fungal. Only 2 of them. Fight, mate, fight. He's showing so much respect to like 5 mutalisk in the main. Alright, a few more showed up. So now Mixu is a 3-base Zerg, but the main doesn't really count anymore. The natural barely counts, so Mixu is basically a 1.5 base Zerg. He does have 33 freaking Hydralisks though. And Mixu doesn't have a very good answer for Spazymazy doesn't have a very good answer for all these Hydras. He's gonna morph 10 Banes. Don't forget there is still an Infestor out there. Like, this is an army that could potentially win the game for Mixu. The longer this game goes, the worse it gets for Mixu, as this counterattack by Spazymazy I think is fantastic. That means that Mixu is going to lose all of his economy. But can Spazymazy clean up this army? Maybe we can just base trade? I don't know if this is the right time to fight. The Banelings are going to scroll down this ramp. Got a couple of the Hydras. I think Spazymazy needs to chill for a second. Get indeed a few more Banes. And then eventually bring back these roaches as well. Like, you know you've done a crazy amount of economic damage. He is going to go for it, though. He feels that the Hydras are exposed. Great splits by Mixu. Unfortunately, it seems like it is barely not good enough. A decent amount of the Mutalisks are still out there. And the Hydra numbers are dwindling. We went from 33 all the way down to 2 Hydras. And it is the Danish Zerg, Spazymazy, who sends us to Game 5. I don't know what's happening tonight. Legitimately nothing but certified bangers. So close. They're both killing the same amount. They attack when they have dead even numbers. The fights, they go out in a slow way. And it's like 108 supply, 108 supply. And it comes down to the final few units. Spazymazy says that he needs a minute. Well, I'm okay with that. I can understand. What a great ZVZ, guys. He's going to take a minute. I'll take a tiny minute as well. Because I don't think I've ever spoken this much in a single ZVZ best of 5. Incredibly close, competitive, intense, fun games. Who's going to take it? Your guess is as good as mine. Game 5, ZVZ, Spazymazy versus Mixu. Not a Scandinavian, but the Nordic ZVZ is coming up. Thank you, Wolfner, for the 27 months. Alright. Let's do it. Game 5. No delay, obviously, on the Friday night. I am short of superlatives, if that is a word. I think it is a word. For this series. I've loved it. These two, just like the first two, are a perfect match for each other. But these games are obviously a little higher paced. Crazy series. So ready when you are. It's one of these moments where I wish I truly was Dana White. And I could give them a performance bonus of the night. Or fight of the night bonus. Because they deserve it. It's been a very, very fun ZVZ. No matter what happens in Game 5. I think it's one that will stick with us for a while. Overall, it's been a great series. Or a great Big Brain Bouts, I mean. Back-to-back series going to Game 5. That's what the Big Brain Bouts is all about. It's always nice when that actually comes to fruition. We always try, don't always succeed, but tonight, absolutely succeeding. Spazymazy is ready from his break. We are now waiting for Mixu. I am not in charge of which ads you get, mate. I just run some ads whenever I take a break because that disables the pre-rolls. So if anybody opens the stream in the next 45 minutes or however long it is, I can take a little look. They won't get ads. And while I'm AFK, I feel like it's not that bad to run some ads. And disabling the pre-rolls is obviously nice. So now they're off for an entire hour. So anybody that opens the stream in the middle of Game 5 of this ZVZ won't get any ads. So just see it as you took a bullet for another Twitch user out there. Game 5, guys. Side Delta, just like our first series. That one came to conclusion on Side Delta. This one will come to conclusion on Side Delta.
Final round. Fight!
In the bottom right side, our Finnish is Zerg playing one hell of a series. Will it be good enough for the W? Berserker Esports Mixu. A massive kudos to this man as well, who's obviously a minor underdog when it comes to the MMR, but I think in the series, in the ZVZ matchup, he shows that he is very close to equal when it comes to his opponent. Our Danish Zerg, a lover of the Muda, BB, EX, Spazymazy. He's been asking for a little while in the Discord to play again in the BBB. This is obviously something that all of you guys can do. Now, I know a lot of you nerds around 5,000 MMR want to play every single week. I can't quite fill an entire night with 5k players, but I do always make note of people that want to play, and if you just voice that you want to play, I'll do my best to give everyone a shot. Spazymazy has been asking for a little while, and I said, alright. We didn't invite him that often in the past, so let's see what our nerd is made of. Tough opponent for him tonight, but he's really living up to the challenge. I don't know much about the ads that are currently running. And on top of that, the ads are also different per region. So if you live in America, you'll get very different ads than I do when I live in the Netherlands. I don't really watch too many channels that I don't sub to. I often have like 5 subs that always run. Zombie Grub, Wadi, Ben, Demu, that is. Right now I do Coco, obviously. Of course. And then the 5th one I rotate a little. Sometimes Lambo, sometimes Gabe. Lately I've been Sub to a chess streamer as well. I've been trying to work on my chess game without any success at all. Trying to learn from Davina, who I met at TwitchCon, but my chess game is not quite as bad as my golf game, but it's pretty close. Yeah, those are pretty much... I mean, I watch some other streams and get an ad here and there, but not really too many. Constantly making fun of Cell. You gifted me an entire year of Cell subs, mate. I don't get any ads when I watch Cell because you gifted me 12 months of subscriptions to Cell. Thank you, Ravi, for that, by the way. So, I don't consider that as me being a sub, but I do not get any ads. You're gonna see me play some chess games someday. Someday that will happen, but right now that won't happen. I played a lot of chess at Katowice with the other casters. And I lost a lot to Ben. And Pig and I are both very bad, so we had a lot of draws. But Pig is a little bit better than me. But Pig is not very good in closing out the game, so we would often get... how do you call that? What's the right term for that? I forgot. It's been a couple weeks. That's pretty much the last chess I played. Pat. No, not... still... Is Pat a thing? P-A-T? Or am I making stuff up now? Anyway, let's focus on our game. It's been a great series. We don't want to miss anything crucial here in Game 5. Mixu is the first one to fire up a lot of links. Both of them have opened up with Ling Bane, but Spazymazy dropped the Baning Nest a bit earlier, so I feel like he should be fine. I don't think Spazymazy is in danger of losing this hatch. He's gonna take damage, sure, but he should not lose it. With the amount of links and defensive banelings that he has, I don't think he is going to lose his hatchery. He's gonna be kinda happy with this. Pat is stalemate, yeah. Well, that's what I meant. Mixu is morphing 5 Banes. 2 of them on the other side of the map. A couple of them at home, I'm sure. We're going to take a look at the links of Spazymazy first, as he's the one to draw first Real Blood as he gets the Queen. Let's keep an eye on these 2 banelings then, guys. Spazymazy now running a lot of links on top of the hatch here. Oh, this hatch could be in trouble. There are banelings here as well for Spazymazy. They're going to push the links away, so the banelings are doing that thing. These 2 banelings, only 3. 3 is not great for Mixu. Mixu wanted more, but he bought enough time for himself at home. And he snuck out a bunch of drones as well, so he has 4 more workers. Spazy is not done yet though, guys. 24 links, 4 more banelings for Mixu. All 4 banelings are at home by the looks of it. No, wait, I think this is 1 bane, right? Yeah, 1 bane is on the other side of the map. Spazymazy distracting Mixu. Mixu attacking the 3rd base. I mean, the chaos just keeps on coming between these 2. It's a great counterattack by Mixu. As he grabs the Queen, he's gonna grab a lot of drones here. He might grab that hatchery too. Mixu gets what Spazymazy has been trying to do on the other side of the map, and now Spazymazy really needs to find damage with these links. But I'm afraid for him that he's not gonna find that much. Well, a couple drones, very quick. That's 6 drones, 7 drones, okay. A couple of the banelings detonate as well, but Spazymazy kind of needs to get this hatchery too. This hatchery is low on HP. Mixu is grabbing all of his own units to make sure that he doesn't end up losing this hatch. A 7 worker lead though for the man from Finland. It's a great counter by Mixu throughout the entire series. Even when his back is up against the wall, I think Mixu has found great value out of his counterattacks. Does a good job there as well. Micro against the Banes. A few more links will run into the main. A couple of the drones still a bit better than Bruce from before, but don't think Spazy gets too much here. Doubling down. He's about to get +1 carapace. So the Link Bane fights are going to go a little bit better for the Danish Zerg, who's trying to buy as much time as humanly possible. As he's morphing a lot of banelings. I mean, this is a full send. If I've seen a full send, we're going to trade out Banes 2 for 2. Links running into the natural. We have Link Bane fights in the top left. We have more links streaming into the main. But I think Mixu is fine for now. But will Mixu continue to be fine? Can the banelings of Mixu finish up in time? No, they cannot. Good splits though on the drones. Very good splits. Uh-oh. I mean, Mixu has more army supply, but I'm a bit worried that he does not have that carapace. Spazymazy wants to get the hedge. Does not quite get it yet. Great save by Mixu. Fantastic save. I mean, during all of this, Spazymazy has completely rebuilt his hatch. So it's Ling Bane against Ling Bane, but there is a +1 carapace advantage on the side of Spazymazy. Mixu though has a numbers advantage, and I do like having a numbers advantage. One big baneling connection is all it takes, and it's so hard to avoid that. This has been such a nail-biting series. This hatchery is now in trouble. The banelings are pushing the lings away. More banelings showing up. Spazymazy gets what he has been looking for. And gets what he's been working for so damn hard as well. That's a great baneling connection if he would have gone for it immediately. Still pretty damn good in the end, man. Carapace is massive, eh? Having +1 carapace in these moments is massive. This series is just the gift that keeps on giving. Mixu was up in workers but loses the hatchery after killing the hatchery a bit earlier. Spazymazy now feels that this is a fight he can take. I'm not too sure about that. Jesus, his links are so good. Carapace is so damn good, but the roach count is climbing. It's a ridiculous series, man. It's an absolutely ridiculous series between these two. After 8 minutes, the dust has settled a tiny bit. Worker counts are very close, but obviously Spazymazy can now saturate 3 bases, so that means he's going to mine a little bit more, which is displayed in this beautiful graph. Mixu is the one with the roach numbers advantage though. 10 against 0 even. He can't really run slow roaches to the other side of the map. We tried that once on Oceanborn. I think we've learned from it. Oh. Mixu sees this. How many gases are we working with on the side of Spazymazy? 4. He's gonna take 2 more. Mudas? Question mark? One more Spire game, guys. One more Spire game. There is the Spire, but Mixu does have a lot of roaches. It's a little bit risky. I feel like this game, dropping a Spire when you're down in supply and your opponent has way more roaches than you. I mean, you can buy time with the links. Go for the drones, go for the hatch. But if you lose all these links, you're in even more trouble. I'd say maybe just go for the queens and run away. Nice transfuse by Mixu. Saves the ladies. Spire 25% done. Don't think Mixu has scouted it, but Mixu does know about the gases. Spire 50% done. Roach speed is again a little bit late, by the way, on the side of Mixu. And that means that I do think we're gonna see Mudalisk make an appearance on the battlefield. The multitasking of Spazymazy has also been excellent throughout the series. He doesn't really run around with one big group of links. There's always a few links here, a few links there. He shows them on the minimap, gives Mixu stuff to worry about. And Mixu knows that it's very unlikely that he can win this game before Mudas come out. So why not drop another Hydra then? Double Ling run by. Ling's running into the natural. Ling's running on top of the third. Good job by Mixu keeping the natural safe. Queens and roaches in the choke point. And he saves all of these drones as well. Overseer is in the main. On top of the Spire. Mixu is moving up with the roaches. I think that's a bit crazy. Because these lings are still roaming the map. And these lings are now going to right click on the hatchery. I don't think he's quite going to get it. But this is a lot of Zerglings. That one transfuse is going to buy some time. Ling's now getting on top of the Spore. Spore Crawler is going to get cancelled. Man, that Spore is tanky for some reason. But it does die in the end. Nidus network as well for Mixu. But 11 Mudas are already out. One of the Mudas has fallen. A lot of the roaches are on the other side of the map though. Does Spazymazy have an answer for all these roaches? I kind of feel like he does, because he's got a bit of everything. He's got the links, he's got his own roaches, he's got his own Mudas, and obviously these Mudas could turn around. Turn around. Yeah, he kind of needs to turn around. No, that's an expensive right click. Loses a few more roaches. Such a freaking close series between these two. Mixu has a lot of roaches and he's going to shove everything maybe into the natural. He could kill the roach one or the evo chamber. He's going to go for the evo chamber. So +1 melee is denied. And Nidus goes up as well. But I don't think you can protect that Nidus. The Muda count is too damn high. Mixu up in supply, but I think he's in trouble. Because his supply is about to drop like a brick. I mean, what is he going to get here? A couple of extra drones. He didn't get that hatchery either. That was expensive. We're going to drop another... He does have 15 Hydras now, by the way. Another Nidus is going to come online. And it's right outside of vision of Spazymazy. As these roaches buy some time for that Nidus to come online. +1 melee got denied. We do not have Baneling speed, I believe. Nope. So okay, Spacey hears the Nidus, is looking for it. Seems that Mixu did not have the confidence to unload all the Hydras. Maybe that's an okay play, because obviously if that would have gone wrong, he would have lost the game immediately. So 4 base Spazymazy against 3 base Mixu. 4 base Muda against 3 base Roach Hydra. Another Nidus gets robbed in the center of the map. Feels that this series is nearing its conclusion. Does Mixu have enough anti-air? Can Mixu win one final fight against the Mudas? The Nidus gets picked off, so no immediate reinforcements. Spazymazy is now supply block. He needs to go for it. One of the Mudas got picked off there as it flew over the Hydras. 20 Mutalisks though. That is so many Mudas. They're gonna go for it. The Hydras only have +1 missile attacks. No carapace upgrades this time around. It is Roaches. It's a slow Bane. I think it's good enough for Spazymazy. He does lose a lot of the Mutalisks, but it should still be good enough. And Hydras are so expensive, and you can't really attack with small numbers of Hydras. Spazymazy holds, loses 5 more drones, but he holds, he keeps all 4 bases alive, and he keeps a couple of the Mutalisks alive. What can Mixu do? Do we have... No, that's... You gotta be careful, by the way, because... Obviously, defending at home with your immediate reinforcements is a very different ballgame than fighting Hydras on the other side of the map. And the Hydras have the immediate reinforcements. 0 queens. We have 5 Spore Crawlers though, and we have a bunch of Hydras. Roach Hydra does scale kind of well. Mixu is down a base, and that is painful. Going to lose this extractor too. Losing some mining time here. Sneaking a bunch of... mostly Hydras. That's risky. He's gonna go for it, and the Mudas find a couple of the slow Hydras here. Hydra speed is 75% done. Spazymazy has no idea about the Nidus is gonna go up, but I'm afraid that Mixu is going to lose these units before that Nidus really finishes up and all the reinforcements show up. If I was Spazymazy, I would go for these Hydras immediately, and that's exactly what he does. 12 seconds before Muscular Augments kicks in. Another Nidus falls. One more Nidus attempt on the top right side of the map. I think the game is starting to look better and better for Spazymazy. But it is too early to celebrate. It's looking very good, but too early to celebrate. There's only 10 armies fly difference. The Mudas are going to take the fight here. Banelings looking for the connections with the Hydras. Not quite getting them. Decent fight for Mixu, but is decent good enough? I'm afraid not. You know, it'd be sick. Couple Mudas down this ramp. Swinging around the army. I think that is the play, but Spazymazy doesn't want to do that. He just wants to roll forward. And if the Banelings can even get the smallest connection, I want to say that it's going to be good enough, because the Hydra numbers are dwindling. And Mix's supply has dropped one too many times. An absolutely epic ZVZ comes to an end. As I think Spazymazy has done it, guys. A insanely cool, competitive, fast-paced ZVZ that basically had it all. Really did have it all. Mixu is going to try one more time, and now his 4th hatchery is in shambles. He doesn't really have a lot of anti-air, does not have spores here. A couple Hydras popping one at a time, but the Hydras don't have those insane upgrades that they had in some of the other games. The hatch will fall. $80 will go to the man from Denmark. Spazymazy gets the job done. Incredibly well played. What a series by him. One of the cooler ZVZs that we've ever had in the Big Brain Bouts. I would even say perhaps the coolest ZVZ that we've ever seen. Super close, super competitive. GG. Job well done by the man from Denmark as he wins the Nordic Best of 5. Man, what a series. And did he have to work hard for it. Incredibly intense, down to the wire. What a cool series. Even that final game was so damn hard to call. Indie will host. Alright, Art and Shameless are ready to battle. We are 27 minutes behind schedule. And that with a lower ranked PvT where we had a Cheeser and then a ZVZ that is supposed to be short, right? Well, none of that today. Am I glad that I took that afternoon nap, guys? Because otherwise I would have been done by now. Very draining series to watch and cast, but super fun. 79% of you guys thought Mixu was going to get the job done, but it is the man from Denmark, Spazymazy, who brings it home. Very, very cool. Well deserved, mate. I don't think the man has worked harder for 80 buckies. in his life than he did today, but well done. Another mirror coming up, but a very fun one, a very different one. Art versus Shameless. 6.2k Polish P versus Shameless. 6.1k RUP. But Shameless gets the MMR boost whenever he's on the Roddy stream. Is it all caps or is it like this? I think it's like this. Shameless has had 2 appearances on the Friday night. 2 times against the Terran and 2 times he looked fantastic. He beat Aquaron 3-1. He beat Battlebee 3-0. Today though, we're going to see what his PvP is all about. Oh man. Alright guys. That's all I got. That's all the words that I had in my system. Tiny Break, thank you so much to Kojaha for gifting us 5 subs. And thank you to Basilisk for 10 more. And also Hatfield's Downstroke for the resub earlier. Whew, I'm going to grab a snack, a drink, and then I'll be back. A fun PvP coming up. And you know what? Never thought I'd say today, but I wouldn't mind a little bit less action. You know, just so I can lean back and talk to chat without being in fear of missing banelings blowing up everything. I'll be right back. See you guys soon. What a Friday it's been so far.